Resting in emptiness. Is it an illusion? Yeah. Resting in awareness. Is that just one more illusion, ultimately? Yes. Resting in wholeness, infinite wholeness, unqualified wholeness, or maybe unconditional wholeness, resting in that. Is that an illusion, ultimately? Yes. The reason I'm saying this is someone left a comment, which was a very astute comment, and they said, I suspect that resting in emptiness is just another illusion, or they said, it could be, as far as I know. And I said, it is, of course. Right. Why am I saying this? I guess the gist of what I'm saying here is that it's not really about the emptiness that you're resting in. It's not really about the awareness, formless awareness. It's not really about the wholeness or the unity or whatever it is you think you're resting in. It's really about the rest, the resting, right? What is rest? It's a really nice way to inquire, actually. What is rest? What is rest? What does it bring up for you? Something you want? Maybe something you've done too much of? What is your story around resting? Is it something about completing a path and resting somewhere? If so, why do you think you need to rest? What would that be like? Is rest something that gives you some kind of currency for action somehow? Is the idea of resting in something like emptiness or no thing like emptiness, is the idea that by doing that, you can sort of disappear from the matrix? You can disappear from the causes and conditions and karma? Is that what it means to rest in awareness? Now, it could sound like I'm talking about nuanced dharma or something, but I'm really not. I'm talking about this simple and clear appearance. This, right? Always this. This doesn't rest. It doesn't need to rest. It's neither restful nor restless. It's not going anywhere. It didn't come from somewhere. It's not an it. And it's also not nothingness. It's not where no it could ever exist, right? It's not absolute absence or something. Of course it's not. Does this look like absolute nothingness to you? It might. If it looks like absolute nothingness, I would say, does this look like all that is absolute nothingness? Because if it is, you're really overlooking something. That's when the Zen master slaps you in the face and you go, ow, oh. And he says, oh, really? Well, tell me about that ow, right? Tell me about that. The sound of the smack. Tell me about the one that's pissed off at me now and what you're feeling in here. That point of that is not to reify an illusory separate self or something. The point of that is like, what do you think that texture is? What is the sensation, right? There is a sort of sensational dynamism available. There's a sensational intimacy available. Not just available, it's just here as part of this, right? And importantly, it doesn't stand on its own. You could say it's interdependent with the empty nature of it. It's like presence and absence interpenetrated. That could sound so weird, I know, but something about this that just makes it so obvious that that's really pretty accurate, as far as words can be accurate. What I'm talking about, or what I'm pointing to here, doesn't need to be described at all. So even these words really are, at best, they're like provisional. They're like antidotes, not anecdotes, antidotes. So if someone says resting in awareness, resting in presence, resting in wholeness, resting in emptiness, all that could be is a provisional pointing. It may have an effect, and it may need to be heard and said and felt. And hopefully it's said in the right timing with somebody who's moving through the unbinding process. Then it can be meaningful. I'm not saying it's a useless statement. I'm just saying it doesn't point to an actuality. It doesn't point to anything actually existing or any actual state, right? It just doesn't, but it doesn't need to. It doesn't need to. Everything does its work. Everything does its work like seamlessly, simply, but it does it as the conditions appearing. That's it. Causes and conditions appearing here, not in time. Not in time is critical. The addition of our idea, which is an illusion of time, confuses all of this. It's impossible to talk about cause and effect and karma and emptiness and dependent co-arising. It's impossible to talk about all of that in an accurate way if you're thinking about it in terms of time at all. So I just want to be clear about that. But when the illusion of time really falls, or when you're able to clearly see through that illusion right here, then all of those pointers are really potent. They actually make sense. They don't just make sense, they resonate with what's, well, appearing, what's actually experienced, let's say. So you don't need to rest. Rest is also associated with escape or something like that, right? Like I want to rest finally from all the pain of life. You don't have to rest from life. You don't have to rest from it. You don't have to release yourself from it. You don't have to transcend it. You don't have to really even deconstruct it or anything. The key to this whole unbinding is seeing that there's no one that's happening to. That's really the key to it, right? It's seeing that thoroughly, which goes hand in hand with seeing that it's not a problem, which goes hand in hand with seeing it's not heavy, it's weightless, which goes hand in hand with seeing that there's nowhere you need to fixate. There's nowhere you need to land, and there's nowhere you need to stand. There's nowhere you need to rest. That turns out to be, again, maybe a helpful pointer, an antidote at times, and then that can even be let go of. Just like the old saying of, I think Buddha said it, you use a raft to get across the river, but then you drop the raft and keep walking. You don't need to keep dragging the raft across unless there's another river coming up, maybe you will, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. But the point of that is like these pointers about resting and transcendence and even intimacy, actually, although I use that word a lot because it's like the best one I can for the non-dual, the sort of enjoyable effervescence of non-dual clarity. Even that, it's like you won't actually find it. There's nothing you're going to actually find, mostly because there's no one to look for it. So yeah, all this gets very paradoxical. But I guess I just wanted to make the video to take away one more illusion